Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, this defense for the Eagles, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target. And that takes us from second to third down.
You look at this Eagle defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Well, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Reed Blankenship.
And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
A run for the former Seahawk. It's Rashad Penny.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
So, Charles, you look at this offense, so what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Oh, his first throw of the game, going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 33. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Running on first down is Cook, but he didn't find much there. Call it a gain of 3, second down. You look at this Eagle defense.
They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
They held them to well under 200 yards of total offense. That's a number you can really focus on, too, because the way offenses run in today's game, they're usually pretty smooth, and they give you a lot of misdirection, a lot of trickery. They were able to hold in there and stuff them.
Oh, did the Jets miss this guy? Here's Breece Hall. That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Jets in a very solid 4-1 here in the early part of the year. And they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends.
On first down, right back to Hall.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Throwing is Rodgers.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. In motion left is Wilson. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll send a receiver in motion left. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, a run with Hall.
Fighting through. And he's going to take this close to the first down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 28. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches. On the sneak, Rodgers.
And he is going to have a Jets first down, at least at first glance, as they'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may be a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll try the middle with Cook. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends. Rodgers with a keeper. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now this time Rodgers will throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
And coming into this ball game, this was an offense that wasn't just talking about the notion of ball control. They were preaching it. They wanted to win the time of possession battle, and they've done so here. This drive's taken up quite a bit of the 1st quarter. Now they are set up 1st and goal.
They'll run with Hall, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Rodgers. Flushed out right. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Aaron Rodgers. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Aaron Rodgers, he can still maneuver. 35 rushing touchdowns in his career with Green Bay. Partner, I double-checked that stat. That's the right number. And even at his age, he knows when it's time to go, and he does it there for a touchdown.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
They go play action with Hurts. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is incomplete. Boy, did everything to hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now brings that 4th down.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Hardman on the return. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner, they can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Coming right, this is Cook on the toss play. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 1 yard is the loss. They back up even further to a 3rd and 15.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
2nd down, here's Jalen Hurts.
And his throw is incomplete.
And he's missed now his first 4 passing attempts. The rhythm is just not there to begin this ball game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Throwing is Hurts. They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the first down.
They'll run with Penny. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. An interesting call there to go for it. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here on out because he'll only have 1 challenge remaining.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Now 2nd and 9.
To throw, it's Rodgers. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Mecole Hardman, 47 yards.
And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Zerline good with a PAT. And it's now 14-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor muscles him off.
And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
2nd down, here's Hurts. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted.
Adrian Amos with a pick.
And the Jets are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
In motion right, that's Wilson.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers.
Throw right side, Wilson.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
A lot to talk about when it comes to Garrett Wilson, the reigning offensive rookie of the year. Last season, really embraced the wide receiver one role in New York. Broke Keyshawn Johnson's rookie record for yards, and one of the brightest young stars at his position lives up to that by getting another Jets first down.
Meanwhile, Rodgers throw into the hands here of Hardman. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll try the wide side with Cook. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
22-yard line.
From the 22 now, here's 2nd down and 7. In motion left, Hardman. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And it's incomplete. That would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
The offense on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Isaiah Rodgers. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, I mean, it hadn't been a picture-perfect first half for this defense to this point, but that's a big play to get them right back in the ballgame.
And I think that changes their mind frame. Now they're saying to themselves, hey, we're still in this. And even though our offense hasn't done anything, we've had our troubles on our own right, we still made a play right there that could change the course of this game. Great job delivering.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make our score 14-7. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26.
They're on 26-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done, because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
2nd down, 8 to go from the 28. In motion left, Hardman. Here's Rodgers. He finds Wilson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Rodgers now on first down. Going right back to Wilson. 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Taking in left side. It's Wilson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 5 at the 9-yard line.
Now a run and maybe a reverse, but no, he'll keep it himself. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. That's complete right around the 8. And they will get to him at the 7 and stop him short of the first down marker. So Rodgers will depart, and on is Greg Zuerlein for the Jets field goal. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about one-score lead, two-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, you know, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
On first down, Hurts. goes Watkins.
A 20-yard touchdown.
And the Eagles have got it back to within a score.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game.
17. Eagles 14. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Rodgers now to throw. That is caught. It's Uzomah. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Under pressure, they got him again.
That's big Jordan Davis powering in to drop him.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
Oh, he's going up top for Wilson.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this one will wind up being down just outside of that 20-yard line.
23-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Wow, a big mistake there. Late interception in this first half, and that could lead to a field goal try the other way.
Yeah, I think at this point you just had to say, let's take a knee and go in at the half and regroup. Let's just talk it over a little bit. I wonder, partner, was the analytics coach in his head a little bit? Maybe go ahead and press it and try and get some points. While the old school coach probably would have said, take the knee, let's get out of here.
Now we could see points the other way here. Well, Charles, I think you'd have to call that a win for the defense after the turnover already in field goal range, and they had to settle for 3.
Yeah, the beautiful part is you start so close to the end zone that your thought process on offense has to loosen up a little bit because you're thinking to yourself, you're almost guaranteed 3. Let's take some good shots at the end zone and try and turn it into 6.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Ashton Davis. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On second down, it's Cook again. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Now they'll throw with Rodgers. Out to the right here to Wilson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the 31, here comes 2nd and a yard. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penning. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the counter, it's Taylor. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Here's Hurts to throw. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Up the middle, it's Cook. Down to about the 37. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On the ground, they'll set up the reverse, but he'll keep it himself.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Throwing is Rodgers. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Vita Vea with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
62-yard attempt.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And that'll keep this a 9-point game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. This short throw caught by Goddard. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
He's going deep for Brown. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
And now here's another interception. William Jackson with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Jet touchdown.
Well, Charles, just some visibly frustrated players and coaches on that sideline right now because those halftime adjustments didn't work. The turnover problems continuing here in the second half, and the defense now sitting pretty comfortably as a result of that pick six.
I think that's a great observation too, Brandon, because they did make adjustments at halftime. But how about this other group staying a step ahead despite whatever happened in that other locker room? No surprise they're leading, and it's appropriate that those defenders got to add to the lead directly.
So on now comes the Jets offense as they're going to go for two here.
Cook, they'll try and run it.
And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown.
And he'll be brought down at what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now we give to Taylor. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets 16. A good pickup there at 22.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Will McDonald there on the tackle. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd down, another run with Taylor.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
This offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
Eluding the pressure right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a 4th down.
It hurts not coming to the sideline. They're going to go for it.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Big stop on the turnover on downs to get the football back, and now it's just all about salting this one away.
Yeah, just slowly bleed the clock away. Clock's definitely on your side. And, you know, when we talk about analytics in the game, what is this one? The advanced win metrics? Because if you take care of the football here, bleed the clock down, were they about 95% chance?
Oh, yeah, I'd say 95 or better. And I know you always say it, every coach does. It's just protecting the football at this point.
And knowing that the defensive guys, they're coming after the ball more than they are the person. They want to knock it free.
So a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. Rodgers going to throw. That is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
It has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Shreds the tackle. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. First and 10, Taylor now. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 49-yard line.
In motion left comes Brown. Second down, here's Hurts. And my goodness, another interception. Sauce Gardner picks it off. And the Jets will take over possession here up at the 44. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And he'll have a Jets first down as good running gets him to about the 44. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And right side, they're going to go option here. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. DeForest Buckner using that size to force his way in there and make the stop behind the line. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is taken at about the 14. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Throwing is Hurts. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Going for the knockout blow right there. I think if I'm up 2 scores, I'd be worried about an interception, but playing this way is what got them this lead. So you may as well ride it out to the end.
Second down, here's Jalen Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. They'll look to throw again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Jets are going to take over here up near the 40. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And now this defense trying to use the clock to their advantage. They'll take the timeout here with 2:08 left. And then they'll have another stop coming up at the 2-minute warning. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They'll run and set up the reverse, but he'll keep it himself. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They sure went against conventional wisdom, calling a pass on 3rd and inches.
Had to be thinking to themselves, the defense is going to overcommit against the run. Should be an easy pitch and catch. Didn't turn out that way.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On the sneak, Rodgers. And he will have a Jets first down, and that should just about do it. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Rodgers looking to throw. A short throw to Conklin, the tight end.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Now a 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Try to take this home. They'll run. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on for the 5th time here today.
So it's a victory here for the New York Jets. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points in the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment.